In the early hours of September 16, 1992, the world of finance was holding its breath, even if most people didn't notice. Across London, inside the Bank of England, a quiet panic was starting. The pound sterling, long seen as a symbol of Britain's economy, was on the edge of collapse. It wasn't a sudden shock or a global crisis that caused it. It was one man. A man who could see the market like no one else. George Soros, the hedge fund titan, had placed himself right at the center of a storm. When it was over, he would be remembered as the man who broke the Bank of England. The story actually started years earlier, in 1979, when France and Germany launched the European monetary system. Its goal was simple: keep currencies stable, control inflation, and set the stage for a future European currency. At the center of this system was the exchange rate mechanism, which tied each participating currency to a central basket of European currencies called the ECU, a system to keep European currencies stable, allowing only small swings up or down. The first countries to join, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, and Ireland, were like the first dancers in a carefully planned financial dance. Britain had been watching from the sidelines. For more than 10 years, the pound had stayed just outside the ERM's strict rules. Then, in 1990, the United Kingdom joined, fixing the pound at 2.95 Deutschmarks with a range of plus or minus 6%. At first,
This is fine.
Inflation dropped across Europe, the German Bundesbank kept interest rates steady, and people believed the pound would stay strong. But in the world of currency, stability is fragile, like walking a tightrope over a deep, unpredictable chasm. By 1992, the cracks were starting to show. German reunification had put huge pressure on the economy, and the Bundesbank raised interest rates to fight inflation. The effects spread quickly. Higher rates in Germany made the mark stronger, and other REM countries, including Britain, had to raise their rates too to keep their currencies in line. But Britain's economy was weak. Unemployment was high, growth was slow, and the government couldn't keep up with these high rates. Soros saw it immediately. For him, it wasn't about politics or fairness. It was simple math and human behavior. The pound was a storm waiting to hit, and he was ready to ride it. Soros's weapon was boldness. Through the Quantum Fund, he borrowed billions of pounds and exchanged them for stronger currencies, betting not just that the pound would fall, but that it would collapse completely. He used options, futures, and massive leveraged positions, a carefully planned strategy to take advantage of weak governments and central banks. By the time the markets began to react, Soros had already placed $10 billion in bets, enough to move currencies on its own. Others noticed and followed, drawn to the chance to make money, each trade pushing the pound closer to the edge. The Bank of England, armed with reserves and pride, fought back. It bought billions of pounds, attempting to defend the currency with the calm precision of a surgeon. But this was no ordinary battle. It was a war of psychology and perception, a struggle between an institution bound by rules and one unshackled by conscience or fear. Hours passed, the pound wobbled, trembled, but the markets were relentless. Interest rates climbed, 10%, 12%, a fleeting promise of 15%, but it was too little, too late. Traders laughed at the brinkmanship. They had calculated the odds, and Soros, with the patience of a predator, knew exactly when to strike. And then, as the afternoon waned, the inevitable happened. Chancellor Norman Lamont, weary and defeated, announced that Britain would withdraw from the ERM. Interest rates would return to 10%, but the damage was done. The pound began a dizzying descent, falling 15% against the Deutschmark, 25% against the dollar. In the quiet offices of the Quantum Fund, phones rang endlessly, brokers shouting as billions flowed in like a tidal wave. Soros, once just a shadowy figure in the world of hedge funds, emerged as a legend. Within a month, his fund had pocketed an estimated $2 billion, selling marks at a premium, buying back pounds at a discount, a victory measured in billions, executed with precision and witnessed by the world in awe and disbelief.